you are not alone. Even though it may feel like it may seem like it, you're not. I want you to hear me because I have wrestled with loneliness majority of my life. Growing up military, moving around every 3 years, being an only child, always being a new kid, I know what it feels like to be alone. And this is what has helped me. First, I had to find inner peace and inner comfort with myself. I had to enjoy hanging out with myself, enjoy being around myself, enjoy doing things that I like to do by myself. But the bad part about this is you don't want to get too comfortable that you then begin to isolate yourself and then not allow yourself to be in community with others. So I had to then learn a balance between enjoying my comfort space, like my comfort zone, and enjoying my private space, but also still putting myself out there to want to be in community and relationship with people, but not to the point where I overly give or overly try to pour into a relationship in a way that it's not reciprocal. Follow. Loneliness can morph into different phases and look a lot of different things. Loneliness has morphed into relationship addiction for me at one point, where I just never was not talking to somebody. I just wanted that connection, and it just happened in the form of romantic partners, but that was not healthy. Okay, now I think that loneliness also can morph into this thing where we will try to sustain a relationship or a friendship beyond its expiration date, right? Sometimes you have to be okay with letting things go. And I noticed that when my loneliness was peaked, it was harder for me to relinquish relationships I know were no longer serving me. So you have to become, again, going back to the first point, so comfortable, so confident, so okay with being with you, and find value and worth in spending time with yourself. And you will be least likely to just give it out to whomever, all in the need of feeding that need of loneliness. As I was in relationship addiction or in these friendships that were no longer serving me, pouring into these friendships that were not pouring into me back, I was then feeling more lonely. I would feel more depressed, more sad, more unworthy. And so that's why I said you have to be cognizant of that downside of loneliness, right? You don't want it to get to a point where you start being or feeling worse off than what you were to begin with. So you have to be comfortable and confident and okay with being around you. But also you have to recognize if a person or a space is not giving that same energy back to you, that same peace, that same joy, that same comfort that you feel when you're by yourself. If you don't get that from a community or a person, then you don't need to be having relationship with them. This becomes even more complicated though as we get older. Relationships change, dynamics change. Your friends in high school or middle school, they're now your friends that are married and have kids or other families or other jobs, and so the dynamic looks different. And so then you find yourself in a space of navigating loneliness again. As relationships continue to change, life continues to life as we get older. If you ever find loneliness creeping up, just revert back to your comfort, your worth, what makes you excited, where you find joy, and then allow yourself to lead you to people and places and spaces that reciprocate the same energy. That is the only way you'll be able to deal with loneliness. And then also, obviously, spending time with the Lord and remembering that He says in Joshua 1:9 to be strong and courageous, never to fear, because He's with us wherever we go, meaning we're never alone, no matter what it is that we may face. So I love you guys. Be encouraged, and I hope this helped you.